Hello friends, it's Miss Mingus here. We are going to get started on our writing, and this week in writing we're going to be starting a new genre here. Before spring break with Mr. Held, you all had been working on opinion writing and telling your opinion about something that you really like and why. So now we're going to move on to something a little bit different, and that is called informational writing. Okay, we've done this before, but it's been a little bit, so we want to take some time and make sure we know what we're doing. Okay, so with informational writing, we are going to write about a real thing or a place that you know a lot about. Okay, so if we're doing informational, we want to be able to teach someone something. So we have to pick something that we know about, because if we don't know anything about it, we're not going to be able to teach someone else about it. Okay, so we're going to write to give information to the reader. We're going to teach them. Okay, so we want to be able to teach our readers about our topic. Okay, so in order to do that, we've got to think about what is something that we know a lot about. Okay, we might know a lot about some different people. Maybe you know a whole lot about Spider-Man or Princess Elsa. You might know a lot about a different place. Maybe you love to go to McDonald's with mom and dad. You could write about that. And also we can write about things, okay? So like our pets. I know a lot about dogs, so maybe I want to write about dogs. And I want to teach someone else about dogs who might not know about them. We also just finished learning in science about life cycles. So we could teach someone else about those insects, those bugs, those animals that we learned about with our life cycles, okay? So here is our I can statement for today. I can use drawings, labels, and words to teach someone about a topic. So we're going to use three things. We're going to use our drawings, we're going to use our labels because we've learned how to label things, and we're going to use words to be able to teach someone about something, okay? Because when we use all three of those things, that's how we can do our best work, okay? So for our topic today, we're going to focus on the butterfly, okay? You just finished learning about the life cycle of a butterfly. Ms. Feldwebel has been taking wonderful pictures and videos to watch our caterpillars go from a butterfly. We know the life cycle. We know lots about them, okay? So we're going to be working on an informational story about butterflies, okay? And it's going to take us a little bit, but that's okay, right? Because we want to make sure that it's awesome and that we can teach other people with our story, okay? So in just a minute, I'm going to show you a little PowerPoint. We're going to learn about a butterfly, and then we'll come back to our chart here and we'll start our writing, okay? Okay, everyone, so we're going to get started on learning about the butterfly, okay? So this PowerPoint we're going to use this week and next week as we are learning about the butterfly, okay? So for this one, this is just, it says at the top, butterfly, okay? And we see some different ones here. So this is after we've already had the caterpillar, it's gone into its chrysalis, it stayed in its cocoon, and now it's out and it's a beautiful butterfly, okay? Because that's what we want to focus on teaching people about, is the butterfly and all the things that they can do and how beautiful they are and all that stuff, okay? So on this one, it's showing us the metamorphosis is complete. The full-grown butterfly looks nothing like her old caterpillar self. Doesn't look like the little hungry caterpillar anymore. Now she can go from flower to flower on her beautiful, colorful wings, okay? So now she's ready to lay more eggs and start that whole process over again, okay? So our butterfly features, this is what we're going to focus on today, because when we get ready to draw in our writing, we want to show someone all the different parts of a butterfly, okay? So butterflies have many interesting body parts that help them survive. They use their two antennae to sense the world around them. So their antennas are those things on the top of their head, okay? They use their feet to smell and taste things. These senses allow them to tell which plants have the right kind of food. That's very cool. Here's their antennas on top of their head. We have their eyes. A butterfly's eyes can see differently than our human eyes do. Okay? They can see in all directions at one time without having to turn their head. And they also see more colors than we do, so they can look at the bright colors of the flowers. Okay, and a butterfly does not have a mouth for eating. It has this little curly thing down here. It's called a proboscis, okay? The proboscis is kind of like a straw that the butterfly uses to drink the nectar from the flowers. When the butterfly is not using it, it curls up like that, okay? So those are some different things about the butterfly. Now, this is what I want us to focus on because this is what we're going to use for our writing today, okay? Here's the diagram of the butterfly. First, I see this long arrow, and remember when we're labeling things, we like to have an arrow so we know what we're pointing to, and it's pointing to the head. It says a butterfly's head holds its eyes, antenna, and proboscis, so lots of things in the head. This little arrow I see pointing to the two little things on top of their head called the antenna. Butterflies have two antennae, okay? Now I'm looking at this long arrow over here. It says eyes. Butterflies have two compound eyes, okay? We have the proboscis. They use that to drink nectar from the flowers. Whoops. Sorry about that. The thorax. The butterfly's wings and legs are attached to the thorax. That's a very important part of their body, okay? Legs. Butterflies have 6 legs. They can smell and taste with their legs. Isn't that cool? And this is their abdomen. The butterfly breathes through tiny holes in its abdomen. And then on the back here, we have the wings. Butterflies have 2 pairs of wings, okay? They have the 2 in the front and the 2 in the back. Got it? All right, so this is all that we need to know right now about the butterfly because we're going to take a little bit and write about it, and then we'll learn a little bit more and write about that, okay? So right now we're going to go get ready to write the introduction for our information story about butterflies, okay? All right, guys, so we are ready for our writing now, okay? And I just took a white piece of paper, okay? So you can do this at home. You can get a piece of notebook paper, just a plain white piece of paper. I need you to write this word topic at the top, okay? And then I just drew a black line. So topic with a black line, okay? I drew a really big square. It's not a perfect square, but that's okay. It doesn't have to be perfect. And then on the bottom, I put by Miss Mingus, okay? So you can watch me first, or you can pause it and go along with me and make it as you go if you want to too, okay? But this is going to be the first page of our butterfly story. So we know that our topic is butterflies, so we need to write that word butterflies on our topic, okay? Our next step was to draw a picture of a butterfly, and I wanted to make it look as real as I could, okay? So I am going to put a picture of a butterfly in when I put your assignment so that you'll have something to look off of as you go, okay? So we wanted to make sure that we drew all the parts of the butterfly, okay? And my butterfly doesn't look perfect. You don't have to be an artist. It just has to be able to teach someone about it. So make sure it's big enough, okay? And make sure that when you start, you're already starting with real colors, okay? If you're just using, I would use a pencil to start with so we don't mess it up, okay? So I've drawn my butterfly, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts of the butterfly that we're going to work on labeling, okay? This is all we're going to do today. We want to get this first page looking really, really good so that people want to read our story, okay? So our topic is butterflies. So you all are going to have to go through this butterfly with me and help me as we label it. So the first part I see pointing right here to this little thing on top of the butterfly's head, and sometimes it can look straight and sometimes it might get a little curly. Does anybody remember what that was called? It's a really big word. It was called the proboscis, okay? Really big word, but the proboscis, remember, is what the butterfly uses to drink the nectar. So it's a very, very important part of their body. We want to make sure that we teach people about it. So the first thing you're going to label is the proboscis, okay? And you can see I have this arrow pointing, and then I have a line that I write my label on. We learned how to do that in school, so let's make sure we keep doing that, okay? Arrow pointing to what you're labeling, and then a line to write it on, okay? Next, I have 2 little arrows here pointing to this and this. What do you think those are pointing to? They're wings, that's right. We know we had 2 sets of wings, but I just wanted to label one side so that everybody knows what we're talking about, okay? So we've got our 2 little arrows, my line, and I've written the word wings, okay? And remember, you can always sound these words out. There are some tricky words on this butterfly, okay? So you can pause Miss Mingus's to look at mine to spell it correctly, or you can use your kindergarten sounds, whatever works for you, okay? Now I'm moving down here to this part of the body. I see this long line with this arrow. We just learned about this in our little PowerPoint about the butterfly. Does anybody remember what this part of their body was called? That is the abdomen. Okay, so we want to label their abdomen, another very important part of the body. Okay, next I have this middle part of the body. And I have my long arrow, my line, and that is the thorax. Okay, that one has a digraph in the beginning of it, so make sure you write that one out. Thorax. Okay, now I'm looking up at this little circle at the top, and I see my arrow again, long arrow. What do you think this part of that butterfly's body is called? The head. That's right. That is their head. Very important. Okay. And our last one, I see it pointing to these two little things on the top of their head. We talked about this in our PowerPoint. You remember what they're called? Those are the butterfly's antenna. Okay. So I now have a picture of a butterfly. It's detailed, right? I have lots of details of the butterfly, and I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 parts of that butterfly's body labeled. But I do have something that's missing. Do you all know what I'm missing? Colors. My butterfly doesn't have any colors. Do we see just black butterflies with nothing else on them? Not normally, no. And butterflies can be lots of different colors. They can. So if you want to look up a picture of a butterfly and color it to match that, I would love to see that. I'm going to do some orange and some yellow, okay? So let's remember we do want to use real colors only, okay? So if you haven't seen a butterfly, look with the colors that you're doing, try to find a different one or make it match mine, okay? So I'm going to do some orange. And remember, guys, you are almost at the end of kindergarten now, so we need to make sure we are coloring inside the lines, right? And going really slow. We could take some time to make this butterfly look super detailed and beautiful, and that's what I want you to do, okay? So I could do some orange. And now I'm not taking all the time right now. I'm going to go back and finish mine later, but I just kind of wanted to show you a little bit. We could throw some yellow in there, because I want everybody to see how beautiful these butterflies can be, okay? But my goal is to get everything on that inside colored, okay? Remember how we talk about covering up all the white space? I want you to make sure you do that, okay? So now we have our picture of our butterfly. And no, mine's not totally finished. I'm going to go back and finish it in just a minute, okay? But I do have the very important things, which are my drawings, okay? My labels, and my pictures, my words, okay? I have all of those things that we talked about in the beginning. So now, here's your job, okay? It's your turn. First thing I need you to do is to get a piece of paper and draw on it to match mine, okay? So this could be your piece of paper. I want to see the topic. I want to see the square for your picture, and I want it to say bye with your name. Remember, it's not going to say my name. It's going to say your name. And then number 2, I need you to draw and label the 6 parts of a butterfly and use real colors, okay? And I'll take a picture of my finished one in just a second so that you can go back and check to make sure that yours looks the same, okay? Don't forget to send me a dojo picture or your homeroom teacher a dojo picture when you are finished.